Hi, this is Larry with ManCave Mayhem. Tonight, we're working on the Triumph Tiger 900 again, and we are gonna replace these flimsy factory handguards with some of the, oh yeah, we're gonna throw some Barkbusters on this bad boy. Now, I went ahead and opted for the bike-specific handguards. We'll see how easy those are to put on. We'll see how long it takes, and I'll let you know my thoughts on it when it's all finished and said and done as far as the difficulty and everything. If you haven't yet, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. Check us out on Instagram at mancave_mayhem. Now let's get on with the video. Woo! What we're gonna do is pull these mirrors off the bike because these factory handguards, wind protectors, whatever you want to call them, are obviously attached somehow to this whole bracketry. So we're gonna go ahead and take the mirrors off this thing and we'll move to the next step. Now I'm using the 14mm wrench to mirrors off. You can see that these handguards are pretty flimsy. This is all plastic, so you can see this ain't gonna protect much. Maybe a couple scrapes and bumps, but they're not that heavy duty. So now we're gonna take our 4mm Allen key and we're gonna get these all the way off. So we'll get that done and we'll move to the next step. All right, now that we got the factory handguards off, those are gonna go in the Triumph used handguards box. And I'm hanging onto these bar end bolts just in case we need them. Now let's tear into these Barkbuster bags and see what they've given us. So we got everything unbagged. I opted for the VPS handguards, but I'm going to show you the install of the frames first, and then we'll move to the handguards. Anyhow, we have, this is basically what came in the kit. I'm not gonna go through it all, but there's basically 6 bolts, 2 nuts, and some other mounting hardware. These brackets have Allen head bolts in them. So we're gonna get started on this. There's fairly decent instructions here, which is nice. And then this is bike specific, so it's showing Triumph Tiger Rally Pro 2020 and on. So that's where we're at. I'll start with step 1 and I'll take you guys through the process. So our first step is gonna be to assemble all this on the end here. And this is kind of how it looks right here. So we're gonna loosely attach all these with the provided nuts and bolts. And then I'll show you how that looks. It looks like we're going to be using one of these button heads right here. Button head screws. And then we're going to be using these longer ones with the nylock nuts. And then the ones provided on this. And these are clearly marked left and right. So it's pretty hard to screw that up. So let's get started. This is how your right side should look prior to loosely mounting it to the handlebars. Now, I like to use Loctite on some of these, so probably these are gonna get a little Loctite Love blue, and this is gonna get some blue Loctite too. But we're gonna go ahead and loosely mount that on the handlebars. You're gonna take one of these spacers, that's gonna go right here, and then you're gonna use one of these countersunk screws to go in the end there. So we'll get that started right now. We're gonna put that on there and I'll show you how that looks loosely mounted. This is how your handguard should look basically with a loose fit. Now I'm going to go back through and add a little Loctite to each one of these and we'll get that secured. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side first and we'll put the handguard frame on the other side and then we'll go to the next step. Right, now we got those 2 loosely fitted on. I'm going to slowly go around and add Loctite to a few of these spots here. This one won't need it, but these clamps will probably need it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on those and then we'll get them tightened. We're going to go ahead and tighten this bolt. This is the next one in order that we need to tighten. So we're going to, and this is actually a 5mm Allen key. The one on the end is actually a 4mm Allen key. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and add the Loctite and snug those up. Not super tight, but get them pretty snug. That's all. So you want to get that backbone positioned so when you view it from the side, it's kind of horizontal. So you kind of want that thing to be pretty level. And I'm not going to throw a level on it, but that's kind of what you want. So we're going to do that. Now we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, so next we're going to tighten this up. Prior to tightening this one up, we're going to tighten these bar clamps up. So let's get that done now. All right, so per the instructions, you tighten this up. Then you tighten this one up. Then you tighten the bar clamps themselves up. And then now we're going to this small bolt that holds that all together right here. I'll show you that right there. And we snug that up. We're going to use our 5mm Allen key and our 10mm wrench. And we're going to tighten this and that on both sides. Now that we have the levers protected, now we're going to want to protect our hands, right? From the wind and bark and brush that can hit your hands as you're out riding. So next step is the guards. Also, before I go any further, the required torque settings on this for the M6 bolts are 10 Newton meters or 7.4 foot-pounds, or on the M8s, it's 20 Newton meters or 14.8 foot-pounds. All right, let's get into this. Now I've got the black guards, they're and wind deflectors, so we're gonna go ahead and pull those out of the bag and see what comes with this kit. So these are the VPS hand guards, and they're actually, it stands for Variable Protection System, and the way these work is they have a piece that fits on the back, and you can raise or lower that piece in two different positions. So I'll give you an idea kind of how that would look. You can run it without that, or you can run it actually in a lower position where it just kind of glides over your hand like that. I'm opting for the higher position just because when I go to Alaska, I'll probably want some protection from rain and wind and stuff like that. So I'm gonna run that just like that, but I just wanted to show you guys how this system works, or you can run it completely without, like that. So it all depends on what you're looking to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and install those. They're super simple. These take 2 screws on the back for the adjustment, and you can see there's other adjustment points. Anyhow, so these 2 screws go in, so you just use a regular Phillips screwdriver, put those in. So I'm going to do that, and then the next step is put them on the bike and we'll see how they look. All right, we got them installed. Very simple install, and they're bike specific. And the thing I like about them is they really make the bike look good and aggressive, and they're gonna protect your hands way better, and your levers way better than the factory ones will. We already saw what the factory ones look like. If you haven't yet, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Check us out on Instagram at ManCave_Mayhem. And just remember, I'm just a man in a cave causing mayhem. Thanks again for watching, folks.